Hello, welcome to another tonal landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Path to the Beach. 4x6, painted it yesterday. I'm really stoked with this painting. Hopefully, hopefully you'll like it as well. It is one of my tree by the sea, but a distinctly different direction and turn here, and I'll be honest with you, I came up with a reference image that is just extremely exciting. I decided to go ahead and paint it small first, kind of as a sort of study, and also my galleries out here really they dig having that price point of the little paintings, and so I like to indulge them a bit. But I'll definitely will be revisiting this subject, and um, the genesis of the reference image was that it was very much influenced by a Barbizon painter. I am not calling this any kind of riff though, because I took it so far away from that initial inspiration that, it's just enough to let you know that was the inspiration. But I will say, if you're in the members area, you'll see that inspiration. You'll see my reference image, and then the master's painting that inspired it. And here's a big clue for you: it's not even a coastal scene. So that's great, and that was done, of course, with the using the Stable Diffusion. Now, Stable Diffusion's pretty dang cool for messing around with images. It won't actually. You've got a slider, so depending on where that slider is, it will really retain your composition, or it may abandon it. But when you're getting as far over to the left that it's abandoning it, it just gives you semi-random stuff anyway. I'm very, very much interested in taking existing images, my own, even my own paintings in some cases, or the work of masters, or photos I've taken, and messing around with them, and it's pretty exciting. And you'll probably be hearing more from me on this because it is very exciting. And you could go, well, reference, and I will say, if you're a painter at a certain level, it's more important for you to make paintings and to not be too precious with your reference. You want to, if something sparks your mind, that, oh, I think that would make a good painting, go ahead and make that painting. And if the painting turns out poorly, that's okay. You need to basically get in there and make paintings. You cannot expect to be making great paintings when you are just starting out. It's if you think about it logically, how could that be? It's not magic. There's a lot that goes into creating a painting. It takes quite a lot of practice and experience to become good at it. But what I will say, now, some could be disheartened, but the sort of people that might be disheartened by that are the same people that are pretty content to, just get the low-hanging fruit that comes into their life. Yeah, you've not trying to offend anyone, but the things you have to work hard for are the things that have the most meaning and the most value. And I think that's especially important in this digital era that's full of immediate gratifications of all types. And let's face it, the easier something comes to you, the less you care about it, the less it really matters. So um, if you're here because you're a landscape painter, you want to, or any kind of painter, I would encourage you to not worry about what anyone else is doing, not worry about what the AI is doing, not worry about what I'm doing. Um, get in there and make a painting every day. This is great. A 4x6 is a little tight for someone starting out. I would say 5x7 with a fairly large brush. That way you can't get in there and get all whatever. I would even maybe encourage you to just work on a sort of time limited manner. That you don't want to be going after masterpieces. You need to explore what paint can do, what you can do, and just fall in love with the process. Don't get too invested in outcomes. there does come a time for outcomes, and that is, it's nice. It's wonderful. But frankly, I have to say, like, I'm really stoked with this painting. I have it as the background on my computer desktop right now. I think it's really came out nice. It I could do so much more with it though, and I will at a larger size. But I'm really thrilled with it. However, give me a day or two and a few more paintings. It's just another painting in the past. I don't get too hung up about things. And oh wait, we'll talk about that some more on the other side of the book. The book, 13 years of condensed painting knowledge, all in the pursuit of the tonalist ideal. There were no books teaching me how to do this stuff, and so I decided to write one. And if you want this book, you can get it from me directly only. I'll ship it to you anywhere on the planet for $60 US. International shipping is included. Check it out. Right on. So, oh, I would point out too, the sky came out really nice in this. And the reference that I used in the background, I'm sure people in the members area are going, what? You use that same reference again? I use the same sky reference all the time because I don't cleave to it very closely, ever. I just use it as inspiration. And in fact, as amazing as the reference image was, I changed so many things. It's not even funny. I'm not into, once I'm getting in there with my paints and my brush, I am on a path, literally, not a path to the beach, a path to a painting. And, we just follow through. And, I have to say that the wonderful thing about having stuck with it and done it for so long now is I'm getting good results most of the time. However, I just took one out on the curb yesterday and smashed it, and it unfortunately scared the lady over at the cafe there because it sounded a bit like a gunshot. I don't want that stinking up my legacy. I do care about legacy. But I don't get too hung up on any one painting now, regardless of how much time I may have spent working on it or building up to it or whatever. It's all part of the flow of life. And it's the pursuit of meaning that gives life meaning, not the objects that, present themselves as you are going down the lane. Those objects can be significant, and ideally, they'll be significant to other people who will want to have them in their homes and treasure them. That's a big win. That's not my main motivation for creating paintings, though. My main motivation for creating paintings is just to make something beautiful, to express myself, and to express what it is I'm doing. That's all. And if you're building up to mastery, you might think, oh, it takes so long. I have to say it doesn't. It doesn't really. Who's that guy who wrote the book about the 10,000 hours? Yeah, maybe it's 10,000, maybe it's 20. It doesn't matter because the pursuit of mastery is essentially its own reward. And this is true. I do music and stuff, and I have actually a certain amount of mastery as a producer and a songwriter. But when people say, "Oh, I didn't know you were a musician," I say I'm not a musician. I really haven't hunkered down and mastered playing any instrument. I can play a melody on a piano. I can hammer out a few rough chords, but I have no mastery on that instrument. And heaven help me if you put a guitar in my hands, I will strum a few chords, but it's just not there. And it's all good. Like I said, I pursued mastery with music in other directions, but that pursuit, it's worth it. It's worth it, especially now in the face of we have the basically the creative part of our society is getting swamped with the AI. If you ask me, it's going to be a real factor. You're not going to be able to separate one thing from another, and you could get really concerned about this. You could become a bit of a Luddite, and I could anyone that wants to go that direction, I don't blame you. You're gonna have to go live on an island or something like that, or like the Amish. You're just gonna have to live like that because it's going to be everywhere. But I'd say in the face of that, don't worry about that because you are a unique expression of the universe. There's only ever going to be one person like you. And as an expression of the universe, we might pick up on that by talking to you or interacting with you or getting to know you. But barring that, we could also get to know more about who and what you are from your art. And the more you work on expressing yourself and the more you concentrate on developing skills, the more that bright light inside yourself will shine through your work. So after you finish watching this video, if assuming you're not at work, if you're at work, that's okay. Go pick up your paints. I said this in another video. Go pick up your paints, and it doesn't matter what you do. You could just open your sketchbook and start messing around. Mess around, do something, and then tell yourself, I'm going to do this every night. I'm going to do this every morning, or whatever time is working for you. Don't be precious about the work you create. Don't be precious about that time either. Just spend the time. And don't tell people either, oh, I'm painting now, da 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 da, because a lot of times people want they want that reward before they've earned it. Let me tell you a big secret. Your family loves you, your mom loves you, everyone around you loves you, but they don't care about your art. They don't care what you're doing. Maybe you're lucky, maybe they do, but really they don't. They're just being kind, and that's okay. There are people out there that will respond to your art. It may not be the people in your immediate vicinity, but there are people that will, especially if you concentrate on getting good. And it's not that hard. Actually, it's really hard, but it's not that hard if you just dedicate yourself to it. And once you do dedicate yourself to it, what's amazing is how quick your progress will be. If you actually do work every day, you will progress very, very quickly. You may not get to mastery right away, but you'll get so much better than when you started out. It's amazing. I've seen it with many of my students, and it's a thrill. Just imagine this. I've said this on the channel a lot. I guess it's turned into another lecture people to paint video. Sorry about that. It is middle of the week though, and you do need to paint more. So maybe you'll indulge me while we're watching this lovely little painting come together. Just take the time, make the time, make something that's unique, make something that expresses you are unique, make something that expresses that, and don't get hung up on things, but every now and again something cool will drop off the brush or the pencil. Or if you're a musician, it'll come out of your guitar. You want to connect with the universe. You want to connect with that source of life, and you can definitely do that through your art. And do it, man. You've got the life. You got to make something with it. I think you do. Now maybe you made some kids, and that's good too. But honestly, once you make the kids, you can really do a good job bringing them up and raising them, but their life is their own, so your life is your own and your work is your own. And yeah, I think that's enough for this rant today. Hopefully you dug watching the painting come together. I think it came out really beautiful. It seems some of these sorts of scenes the channel's not that into, whatever, if that's the case. I was going to try and do a tonalist piece, but my approach on this scene is very, very tonal. And so that's how I justify it to myself, because in the studio I'm thinking, okay, I'll do one tonal, and then I'll do one coastal. The coastals sell out here, and the tonals definitely do better on the channel. But the tonal coastal, it ought to be a big win-win for everybody, and I'm super thrilled with this painting, and I hope you enjoyed watching me put it together. And until I come back with another video hopefully for your edification and enjoyment, when I come back with another video, I hope you've done several more paintings in the meanwhile. Please let me know in the comments that you have, and until I do come back, take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble. God bless you and your family, and fight the power.